You smell that? Someone cooked here. To me, my X-Men, time to cook. Because we just got some insane news that Marvel Studios is looking to cast Bryan Cranston. That's right, Walter Hartwell White himself. Heisenberg, I am the one who knocks. Yeah, you heard that right. I did not stutter. Either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But for real, according to somewhat reliable scooper My Time to Shine Hello, Bryan Cranston is being eyed to play Charles Xavier, aka Professor X, for the upcoming MCU X-Men reboot movie. Let's go ahead and take this with a grain of salt because My Time to Shine Hello is definitely hit or miss with their scoops. But taking a step back, if this is real, no Gal Gadot, then all I gotta say is, this shit means something to me! I mean, fuck it. Why not? He's bald sometimes. He was in a wheelchair in that movie with Kevin Hart, and he's just got that voice that feels like mind control. He's got that voice that feels like a trance. No, Eric, stop. I mean, obviously, on paper, this is incredible. And it's not like this hasn't been a popular fan cast for years as well. I mean, there's so much art of him already as Professor X. There was that report a couple of weeks ago that they were looking to cast black actors in the role. But now with this news, it just seems like it's open to anybody. Now, like I said before, take this with a grain of salt because this same motherfucker also tweeted this, and I don't believe it for one second. Because they also tweeted that Daniel Day-Lewis was being eyed to play Magneto in the MCU's X-Men reboot. And I just don't believe that for one second, even though it would be insane casting because the man is Jewish, perfectly represents Magneto. But this man has retired in real life the same amount of times that Hawkeye has in the MCU. And he's infamously known for being a method actor, which I feel like has taken a toll on his mental health. So maybe he really is done with acting. But if he did want to come out of retirement to get that bag, I don't think any of us could blame him. Because who wouldn't want to hear, I've abandoned my Charles! I've abandoned my boy. We've known for a long time now that after Avengers Secret Wars, Marvel Studios is going to reboot their new MCU universe with the X-Men in the forefront. So out with the multiverse saga, in with the mutant saga. And up until recently, all we knew is that they were writing a script. But now more so than ever, we just got a whole bunch of new news. And remember, this isn't for the OG Fox X-Men that are going to show up in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. This is for the rebooted again X-Men that is officially going to be from the MCU. And in my humble opinion, and I'm sure a lot of you out there can agree with me, the X-Men are Marvel's best team and their most important team. And just a few weeks ago, we learned that Thunderbolts director Jake Schreier was in final talks, to direct the MCU's upcoming X-Men reboot movie. It's basically all a done deal. All he has to do is sign on the dotted line. And in my opinion, after watching Thunderbolts, oh my goodness, this is so exciting because he just understands that these movies need to be rooted in character and emotion. And especially the X-Men of all damn teams. They've always been an allegory for racism, discrimination, and oppression. So you gotta nail the dynamic. But on top of this, we also got a little taste, little teases of what the story's gonna be about. Starting off with who the main villain of this X-Men movie is gonna be. Because according to reliable industry insider Daniel RPK, in the first draft for the upcoming MCU X-Men movie, the main villain is Nathaniel Essex, aka Mr. Sinister. And all I gotta say is I used to pray for times like this. He's one of the most intriguing and fucked up villains in X-Men lore, having played an integral and crucial role in the X-Men 97 series and the X-Men animated series from the 90s, but we've never seen him in live action. There's always just been little teases of him. And Mr. Sinister is a fucking problem. He was once a highly allotted geneticist who, thanks to Apocalypse, was drawn mad, and now he's just got this obsession with mutant evolution. And actually in the comics, it was Nathaniel Essex who inspired the High Evolutionary to do what he did. There is no God, that's why I stepped in. And starting off with him as your main villain, a villain that we have not seen in live action, is just genius. It's perfect. But who's going to be a part of that X-Men team that he's going to go up against? And who are some of the actors that they want in these roles? Thanks to insider Jeff Snyder, he provided a little bit more context, saying that much like Sue Storm and the Fantastic Four, Marvel Studios wants to build this new X-Men team around Jean Grey the Phoenix, Scott Summers Cyclops, and Professor Charles Xavier, which, all I gotta say is duh. But much like the X-Men animated series and X-Men 97, this is a very smart trio to start off with. But let's run through some of the rumored castings that Marvel Studios is looking at. Starting off with Jean Grey, one of the biggest rumored castings was Sadie Sink, which I personally never saw.
And honestly, to go on a little tangent on explaining why I don't think this one ever really made sense to me personally is because I just don't think they're going to introduce the next generation of X-Men characters in a Spider-Man movie that is co-owned by Sony. I just don't think Marvel Studios would do that. And also, everything we've been hearing is that they're saving the MCU's version of the X-Men for after Secret Wars to set them up for the future. So they're not going to be introducing any of them until Secret Wars has happened. So I just don't see her being that. Plus, I think Sadie Sink is most likely just playing his new friend or his new love interest in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So she's probably just going to be Carly Cooper, a younger Jean DeWolf, an amalgamation of the two. I'm kind of hoping she is Firestar. That'd be fire, but we'll see. Funny enough, fire.
But instead, Jeff Snyder is reporting that Marvel Studios really wants Daisy Edgar Jones to be their new Jean Grey. And I got to be honest with you, this is phenomenal casting. She's been absolutely incredible in everything I've seen her in, most recently in Twisters. fresh, normal people. It's about time she gets that bag. Cyclops had a few actors attached, like Harris Dickerson, who was most recently in the Iron Claw, but it looks like he's gonna be too caught up playing in the Beatles movies, so it's looking unlikely for him. Jack Champion from the Scream franchise and Avatar franchise is also rumored to be playing Scott Summers. Really young, but it could work. But the most recent casting rumor is Patrick Schwartz, which honestly ain't that half bad. I could definitely see him saying, "To me, my X-Men." Another rumored casting is Hunter Schafer as Mystique. She herself has even started to campaign for it. And I gotta keep it a stack of pancakes with you. I gotta keep it a bean. This would be one of the greatest castings of all time.
Now, my personal fan cast for Mystique has always been Ana de Armas, but even more so now than ever, after all she's going to be doing with Ballerina in the John Wick universe, I feel, and especially her role in the James Bond movie, I just feel like she is trained to be Mystique, this badass character. And I don't know, that's just one that I saw personally. But like I said, Hunter Schafer would be one of the greatest castings of all time because Hunter Schafer is on her way next. Just wait.
Margaret Qualley as Rogue has been one of the biggest rumored castings. I gotta be honest with you, I don't know if I could handle this one. It is kind of perfect though, and I feel like she's been doing some practice for her southern accent in the recent Coen Brothers movie she's been doing. Or I guess Coen Brother movie. But this would be a phenomenal get, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Kinda need that. Cynthia Erivo has been rumored and has expressed interest in playing Storm. It'd be pretty solid too. They might gotta throw in some singing scenes for Storm just because.
I know Cynthia herself is the one who has expressed interest, but I don't really see that one happening, to be honest. Plus, she's going to be busy doing all the Wicked stuff. And, you know, I know her schedule will clear up, but I feel like her talents are more so fit for someone who can actually, like, sing. Like, I feel like not having her use her vocals is kind of a waste of her talent, like, low-key. So, me personally, I want someone like Jamie Lawson, who played, funny enough, Sammy's boo thing in that movie. He wants to taste it. Shit, me too. And, yeah, she was great in that movie. Like, she's just phenomenal in everything I've seen her in. But she's also in the Batman. She's Mayor-elect Real. So, you know, I think she's got the acting chops for it. She's at the right age, only 27. And, you know, she is just, she's gorgeous. Like, that's one thing we need with Aurora Monroe. Like, she needs to be gorgeous. Like, that's part of her. I don't want to say that's part of her character, but that feels kind of superficial. I don't know why I keep saying this, but, like, just look at her, bro. Look at Jamie Lawson. What are we talking about? This feels like Storm. It screams Storm. And what happens to a toad when it gets hit by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else that gets hit by lightning. You feel me? And I just got hit by lightning with this fan cast. But that's just me personally. I've seen some other great ones like Jodie Turner-Smith, DeWanda Wise. They are a little bit on the older end of things. But, I mean, depending on how you want to age them and stuff like that, I mean, it is what it is. You feel me? I mean, I just need more beautiful black women in my movies. You know what I'm saying?
Finally, we got Julia Butters, who's going to be in Freakier Friday, rumored to be playing Kitty Pryde. Now, honest with you, this one's also very solid. She's only 16. She's Jewish. She's basically Kitty Pryde already. And the final rumored casting we have is Trinity Jo Bliss as Jubilee. It is also rumored that Magneto could be appearing in this movie. I mean, you don't do an X-Men movie without Magneto, to be honest with you. This is just me speculating, but please just bring back Michael Fassbender. I don't think he's just the best Magneto. I think he's the best actor in the Fox X-Men franchise. And you could quote me. If it's one thing I know is that Marvel Studios has to nail this MCU X-Men reboot. Regardless of who is casting the role, all I want is to make sure that they keep that core message of what the X-Men stand for, of what the mutant population stands for. They've always been an allegory for oppression, systemic racism. Like, the reason this joke, which I'll get to in a second, is so funny is because it's still relevant. It's what represents the X-Men compared to other superheroes. Like, when the Avengers save the day, the public is like, thank you so much. You dropped a city block on my fucking mom, but you were able to avenge her. We love you so much. The X-Men actually save her mom and keep everyone safe. Oh, you fucking mutie. Get out of my face. This is America. But either way, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this rumor. You think this would be a good casting choice? Would you be excited to see Heisenberg as Professor X? So much pain. Drop a comment down below, and as always, like and follow for more.